and a very warm welcome to the news on Sansad TV. I'm Isha Shah. Today is 26th November, the landmark day on which we, the people of India, gave to ourselves our constitution. And to mark this historic occasion, a number of events were held throughout the day. We'll go through all this and more. So let's begin right away with the headlines. Be it individuals or institutions, fundamental duties need to be our first priority, reminds Prime Minister Modi at the Constitution Day function. President Murmu addresses concluding session. BJP releases its Sankalp Patra for Gujarat. Party promises implementation of Uniform Civil Code. All parties campaign for first phase of polls in the state. ISRO launches 8 customer satellites, including Nano Satellite 2 for Bhutan, along with Ocean Sat from Sriharikota. President, Vice President, Prime Minister lead the nation in paying tributes to the martyrs on the 14th anniversary of the Mumbai terror attacks. And ruling alliance in Nepal maintains lead in general elections. Results of 150 seats announced so far. Nepali Congress Alliance secures 77 seats. A quick look now at some more important developments in our Flash News segment. Central Information Commission says the 1993 Supreme Court order allowing remuneration to imams in mosques was violative of the Constitution and sets wrong precedent. West Bengal Governor Dr. C.V. Ananda Bose calls on Prime Minister Modi on a courtesy visit. "258 midshipmen and cadets pass out of the Indian Naval Academy in Kerala at ceremonial parade. Film Bazaar concludes at the International Film Festival of India in Goa. Bangladesh feature film Agantuk wins the Prasad DI Award. Union Health Ministry designates the President of the Paralympic Committee of India, Dr. Deepa Malik, as Nikshay Mitra Ambassador under the Pradhan Mantri TB Mukt Bharat Abhiyan initiative. Half of Kashmir Division districts, Kupwara, Ganderbal, Bandipora, Baramulla and Anantnag see zero local terror recruitments this year. Tributes paid to socialist leader, freedom fighter and former Lok Sabha Speaker Rabi Rai on his birth anniversary. Protests rock Haryana and Bharatpur in Rajasthan on Maharaja Surajmal's depiction in a negative light in a TV series. Former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan addresses rally in Rawalpindi, his first after being injured in an assassination bid on the 3rd of November. And Indian boxers Vishwanath Suresh, Panchaj and Devika Ghorpade win gold medals at the IBA Youth, Men's and Women's World Boxing Championships in Spain. Our top story. Fundamental duties should be the first priority of citizens to take the nation to greater heights, Prime Minister Narendra Modi emphasized today. Addressing the Constitution Day celebrations at the Supreme Court, Prime Minister Modi said, India is strengthening the ideals of the Constitution and pro-people policies are empowering the poor and women of the country. Terming the Amrit Kal as Kartavya Kal, the Prime Minister stressed that the mantra of duty towards the nation is first and foremost.
आज की वैश्विक परिस्थितियों में पूरे विश्व की नजर भारत पर है। भारत के तेज विकास, भारत की तेजी से बढ़ती हुई अर्थव्यवस्था और भारत की मजबूत होती अंतर्राष्ट्रीय छवि के बीच दुनिया हमें बहुत उम्मीदों से देख रही है। एक ऐसा देश जिसके बारे में आशंका जताई जाती थी कि वो अपनी आजादी बरकरार नहीं रख पाएगा, जिसके बारे में कहा जाता था वो बिखर जाएगा, आज पूरे सामर्थ्य से अपनी सभी विविधताओं पर गर्व करते हुए यह देश आगे बढ़ रहा है।
The Prime Minister also launched new initiatives under the e-Court project. This aims to provide services to litigants, lawyers and the judiciary through information and communication technology-enabled courts. The initiatives launched by him included Virtual Justice Clock, Justice as Mobile App 2.0, Digital Court and Srivastava websites.
हमारी जुडिशरी भी लगातार कई सार्थक कदम उठा रही है। आज भी सुप्रीम कोर्ट द्वारा शुरू किए गए ई इनिशिएटिव्स को लॉन्च करने का अवसर मुझे मिला है। मैं इस शुरुआत के लिए और ईज ऑफ जस्टिस के प्रयासों के लिए मैं आप सभी को बधाई देता हूं। इस बार 15 अगस्त को लाल किले से मैंने कर्तव्यों की बात पर बल दिया था। ये हमारे संविधान की ही भावना का प्रकटीकरण है।
Meanwhile, Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud said that technology must be augmented with institutional reforms to resolve issues of access to justice. He also stressed on the need to simplify the litigation process and make it citizen-centric.
The Supreme Court now functions in a hybrid mode with both online and offline courts, which enable lawyers and parties in person to appear from different parts of the country. Though the Supreme Court is located on Tilak Marg, the Supreme Court is a Supreme Court for the entire nation. As the Chief Justice, I am attempting to adopt technology-based services in the listing of cases and court hearings so that institutional flaws such as delays in listing and hearing can be removed from our vocabularies. The E-Committee of the Supreme Court of India uses technology to make the justice delivery system more accessible and citizen-centric. The National Judicial Data Grid is a repository of 77 lakh judgments of the High Courts that are available to every citizen free of cost.
President Draupadi Murmu on Saturday addressed the concluding session of the Constitution Day celebrations at the Supreme Court. Calling the preamble the foundation stone of our Constitution, the President said it is the responsibility of every individual to hasten the process of making justice available at a low cost to all. She added that the live telecast of court proceedings will help in increasing public awareness while also emphasizing the need to increase the participation of women in the judiciary.
Speaking of women, I would like to note that their participation in the public life since independence has shown an upward trend, but there is no reason to be content. I understand the judiciary to strive to enhance gender balance. Ladies and gentlemen, the cornerstone of the Constitution is summed up in its preamble. Its singular focus is on how to increase social good. Its entire edifice rests on justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. I would like to note here that these four stellar values enshrined in our Constitution have been part of our own timeless heritage.
Meanwhile, Law Minister Kiran Rijiju underscored the importance of gender equality in the legal ecosystem. He said that the government is focused on strengthening the infrastructure for lower courts. He added that the government is taking several steps to clear pending cases totaling nearly 5 crore in the lower courts.
तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट में आखिर 70,000 के लगभग पेंडिंग केसेस है। हाई कोर्ट्स में लगभग 70 लाख आसपास केसेस पेंडिंग है और बाकी तो नीचे के अदालतों में है। तो जब तक हम अपने जो जिले स्तर के नीचे के अदालतों का हालात को ठीक नहीं करेंगे तब तक हम जो मूल समस्याएं जो 5 करोड़ की और हम जा रहे हैं पेंडेंसी, उसको किस तरह से बांध के रखना ही नहीं, उसको कम करने का जो हमारा लक्ष्य है वो प्राप्त नहीं हो पाएगा। इसलिए लोअर जुडिशरी को हम एट द सेंटर ऑफ आवर अटेंशन बीच में केंद्रित करके हम आगे चलेंगे। मुझे लगता है कि जो अच्छे काम हाई कोर्ट्स में किए हैं और सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जो लीडरशिप हमने देखा है वो हमको नीचे में देखना बहुत जरूरी है।
India is shining like a bright star on the global horizon 75 years after independence. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar said this while delivering a lecture on the Constitution of India and Indian democracy at the India International Centre in New Delhi. He said that today, India cherishes one of the world's finest constitutions as our own. He added that the parliamentary democracy of India has been a guiding light for other democracies. Let's listen in.
Best wishes and greetings to all of you and all the countrymen on the Constitution Day. It was on this day in 1949 when independent India laid the foundation for a new future for itself. Many in the world thought India would not last long. They wrote about it, reflected in public domain, and we have traversed for so long, are in 75th year of our independence, as a shining star on the global horizon.
Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla greeted the people on Constitution Day. He said that the Constitution is our guide, the foundation of a bright future, and a medium to fulfill the hopes and expectations of 130 crore citizens. The Lok Sabha Speaker said that the Constitution ensures justice, freedom, equality by promoting ideal values. He said that the Constitution has a beautiful vision of making India spiritually, culturally, socially, and economically prosperous and inclusive. He emphasized that the Constitution is the philosophy of life for the citizens of the country. And time now to look at all the latest updates from the poll-bound state of Gujarat. The BJP has released its manifesto for the upcoming Gujarat Assembly polls, promising to implement the Uniform Civil Code if they come back to power. Party President JP Nadda released the Sankalp Patra at the state BJP headquarters in Gandhinagar in the presence of Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Bhai Patel and State Unit Chief C.R. Patil. The BJP has made 40 promises in the manifesto, including 20 lakh jobs for the youth in 5 years, 4 Gujarat Institute of Technology on the lines of the IITs, and 2 AIMS-level institutions. The party has also promised to double the annual cover under the Ayushman Bharat scheme from 5 lakh to 10 lakh rupees per family. The manifesto also assured free education for girls from KG to PG.
हमारा मुख्य ध्यान महिलाओं पर भी है। वो हमारे समाज का प्रमुख, समाज को आगे बढ़ाने में महिला सशक्तिकरण एक बहुत बड़ा आयाम है और इसलिए फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट क्वालिटी एजुकेशन हर महिला को यूजी से पीजी तक देने की व्यवस्था की जाए। उसी तरीके से बहनों के पढ़ने के लिए 9 क्लास से 12वीं क्लास की बच्चियों को स्कूल जाने के लिए साइकिल की व्यवस्था की जाए और उसी तरीके से बहनों के लिए अगले 5 साल में 1 लाख गवर्नमेंट जॉब्स देने की भी तैयारी है।
Moving on now, more than 40 heads of missions arrived in the Andamans ahead of India assuming the G20 presidency. G20 India coordinators Harshvardhan Shringla and Amitabh Kant are accompanying the delegates. The G20 heads of missions performed yoga in Andamans on Saturday. They also took part in a cleanliness drive on the seashore. The delegates visited the cellular jail, where writer and thinker Veer Savarkar was held in prison by the British. In a landmark moment, ISRO launched the PSLV C-54 rocket carrying Earth observation satellite OceanSat and 8 other customer satellites today from the Satish Dhawan Space Centre in Sriharikota. As the 25-30-hour countdown, which began on Friday, concluded, the rocket lifted off at a prefixed time at 11:56 a.m. today. The PSLV C-54 successfully injected OceanSat after a flight of 17 minutes. The other satellites were placed sequentially, and the mission was successfully accomplished after a 2-hour flight duration. This was PSLV's 56th flight. The mission is said to be the 5th and last for ISRO in this year. The Earth Observation Satellite 6 is the 3rd generation satellite in the OceanSat series. Prime Minister Modi on Saturday congratulated ISRO and New Space India Limited for the success, saying that the satellite will help in optimizing utilization of our maritime resources.
Now, as already announced, this mission is still not completed. We are waiting for the change of orbit of the upper stage along with the remaining 8 satellites. We have the India Bhutan satellite on board and the Anand satellite from Pixel is there. Thai Bolt 1 and 2 are there. And also we have Astrocast 4 satellites on board of PS4 stage currently. So it will go around the Earth. Now the upper stage has small engines. These engines will fire to bring the orbit from the current altitude to a lower altitude of 511 kilometers circular. That again will be a sun-synchronous polar orbit. And this happens through firing at 2 diametrically opposite locations in reducing the velocity of the stage to achieve this lower orbit.
And actor Vikram Gokhale passed away on Saturday in a hospital in Pune. He was 77 years old. He was admitted to the Dinanath Mangeshkar Hospital earlier this month following health complications. A well-known personality in theatre and television, Vikram Gokhale had also acted in several films. He had acted in several Marathi and Bollywood films. His Marathi film Godavari was released recently. "14 years on, the nation is remembering those who lost their lives in the Mumbai terror attacks. President, Vice President and Prime Minister joined the nation in paying tributes to the martyrs of the deadly attacks.
आज 26/11 मुंबई आतंकी हमले का दिन भी है। 14 वर्ष पहले जब भारत अपने संविधान और अपने नागरिकों के अधिकारों का पर्व मना रहा था, उसी दिन मानवता के दुश्मनों ने भारत पर सबसे बड़ा आतंकवादी हमला किया था। मुंबई आतंकी हमले में जिनकी मृत्यु हुई, मैं उन्हें अपनी श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करता हूं।
Maharashtra Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari and Chief Minister Eknath Shinde paid floral tributes to the martyrs who laid down their lives while fighting terrorists. They paid tributes at the Martyrs Memorial in the premises of the Police Commissioner's office in South Mumbai. Senior police officials and family members of the policemen who lost their lives during the attacks also paid tributes. On 26 November, 10 Pakistani terrorists arrived by sea route and opened fire indiscriminately at people, killing 166, including 18 security personnel and injuring several others. The then anti-terrorism squad chief Hemant Karkare, Army Major Sandeep Unikrishnan, Mumbai's Additional Police Commissioner Ashok Kamte and Senior Police Inspector Vijay Salaskar were among those killed in the attack. And a look now at some more news from across the nation. The BSF on Friday night shot down a Pakistani drone along the Indo-Pakistan international border in Amritsar. BSF jawans belonging to the 144 battalion heard a suspected flying quadcopter entering the Indian territory from the Pakistani side. In an immediate response, multiple rounds were fired to bring down the drone. Jammu and Kashmir has registered an increase of over 10% voters after the special summary revision by the Election Commission concluded after delimitation. This is an increase of over 7 lakh electors. Foreign Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar is on a 3-day visit to Manipur. He interacted with the local business community. The Foreign Minister said the centre is committed towards the development of the Northeast. The ED filed its first charge sheet before a court in the Delhi excise policy money laundering case, naming liquor businessman Sameer Mahendru as one of the accused. Besides Indospirits promoter Mahendru, the complaint also listed 2 other persons. And as many as 240 government schools in Kerala will soon install weather stations recording daily changes in weather conditions in the state, considered to be a first of its kind initiative in the country. And time now for a very short break in the bulletin. Lots more coming up on the other side. Do stay tuned.
Missile has demonstrated India's indigenous prowess, and it showed that it had withstood.
The basic concept of nuclear strike is deterrence, and therefore India must have a powerful deterrence.
India's missile capabilities, India's defense with the missiles that can provide us an umbrella over our key cities and important defense installation.
Welcome back. Let's take a look now at all the latest from the Russia-Ukraine crisis. Dark streets and humming of generators has become a norm in most of the Ukrainian cities. As Ukrainians struggle in the dark, cafes with generators are shining a ray of hope for the people in Lviv. Let's find out more.
Hope, light and laughter. This bar in a basement is one of the central streets of Lviv, is providing just that in the dark times after Russian onslaught on Ukrainian energy infrastructure. The long stormy applause bar has turned into a shelter and a place to charge phones and cheer up. Young stand-up comedians perform here, joking about life without electricity and other impacts of the war in front of an audience sitting largely in the dark, with candles creating a special atmosphere. The power of the generator is just enough to cover the stage, microphones and parts of the kitchen. And this is not the only such shelter. With the help of an online map created by residents, people are able to find a cafe with a generator to escape the cold and darkness. Lviv lost both power and water on Wednesday, after Russia launched a massive attack on Ukraine's already battered energy grid. Trams and trolley buses stopped running. By night time on Wednesday, about 90% of Lviv had electricity and water restored, only for emergency shutdowns to continue the next morning. Bureau Report, Sansad TV.
And time now for some more global news in a World Wrap segment. Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deba's Nepali Congress-led ruling coalition on Saturday maintained its lead in Nepal's parliamentary elections, winning 77 seats out of the 150 declared so far under the direct voting electoral system. In the 275-member House of Representatives, 165 seats will be elected through direct voting. A party or a coalition needs 138 seats to win a clear majority in the House. The Nepali Congress has won 51 seats. Brazil police detained the suspect in an attack on 2 schools on Friday that left 3 dead and at least 10 injured in the city of Aracruz. According to the state governor, The suspect in the shooting is a minor, a former student of one of the schools, and the son of a policeman. The governor said it was an action planned by someone who has a mental problem. The first underwater traffic tunnel in Bangladesh is set to open next year after key civil infrastructure works were completed and a ceremony was held on Saturday to commemorate the milestone. The Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Tunnel runs under the Karnafuli River in the port city of Chittagong. The project involved a cost of more than $1 billion to build and was partially funded by the Exim Bank of China. Residents in China's Xinjiang region protested for an end to strict COVID-19 prevention measures. Videos circulating on Chinese social media showed residents in the capital city of Xinjiang quarreling with officials, enforcing lockdown measures, chanting, "Lift the COVID lockdown," and breaking through barriers put in by authorities. Media reports said that the protests happened on Friday night after an apartment fire on Thursday that killed 10 people. And NASA's Orion spacecraft fired an engine on Friday to insert itself into a distant retrograde orbit over 40,000 miles above the surface of the Moon. According to NASA's report, prior to this stage, the spacecraft was traveling more than 57,000 miles above the lunar surface, the farthest it will reach from the Moon during the mission. And time for a quick look at the most interesting developments in the world of sports. A hat-trick by Akashdeep Singh went in vain as India conceded a last-minute goal to lose 4-5 to Australia in the high-scoring first hockey test of the 5-match series played in Adelaide today. India would expect a better approach from their top order in the power play overs when they take on New Zealand in the do-or-die second ODI at Hamilton on Sunday. Moving on to the World Cup now, where Ecuador held Netherlands to a 1-1 draw in a Group A clash. The Dutch went ahead but had to dig in to secure a point against their South American opponents. The United States outplayed more fancied England in a goalless stalemate in their second Group B match of the FIFA World Cup. Meanwhile, Australia beat Tunisia 1-0 to move up to second position in Group D, behind reigning champions France. Poland scored a comfortable 2-0 win against Saudi Arabia in a Group C match. In a Group D clash to begin in a short while, defending champions France will be tested by Denmark. And later tonight, Lionel Messi's Argentina will take on Mexico in the crucial Group C encounter. Having already lost against Saudi Arabia, anything less than a win could mean the end of the road for Argentina. And with that, it's a wrap of the bulletin this weekend. Do stay tuned to Sansad TV for more news and updates round the clock. Thank you for being here. Good night.